a 60-second film, still shrouded in controversy to this day. A ghostly photograph that convinced even the creator of Sherlock Holmes. A horrifying psychosis, documented in medical records, that drives its victims to cannibalism. And the massive carcass of an unknown creature, washed ashore. This is the evidence left behind by ancient legends. But among these mysteries and hoaxes, one was ultimately confirmed by scientists. And what it pointed to was a very real, colossal creature. This discovery turned a centuries-old nightmare into undeniable scientific fact. Today, we will peel back the layers of lies and mist, and at the end of this video, we will reveal which legend turned out to be true. Picture this, it's late at night. You hear your mother calling your name from outside the window, but you know she's 1,000 miles away. This is the most bone-chilling ability of the Skinwalker. It isn't a monster born of nature, but a sorcerer, a human who has fallen from grace. To gain the power of shape-shifting, they committed the ultimate taboo, murdering a close relative. They can don the hide of an animal to transform into a coyote, a bear, or even an owl. But eyewitnesses all say their transformed state always looks not quite right. Their eyes glow with an inhuman red light. Their movements are unnervingly stiff. And the most terrifying part? There's a place in Utah called Skinwalker Ranch. For decades, it's been the site of countless unexplained UFO sightings, bizarre animal mutilations, and encounters with mysterious creatures. It's a place where legend has become a very real curse, a mystery that science still cannot explain. Next up, we have the ultimate embodiment of greed and hunger. In the legends of North America's indigenous peoples, when winter descended and food ran out, the most terrifying thing wasn't the harsh weather. It was the Wendigo. It was once human, but after crossing the forbidden line of cannibalism, it was cursed to become a monster of insatiable hunger. Legend says it grows larger with every victim it consumes, yet its hunger only deepens. In modern horror culture, it's often depicted as a gaunt, humanoid creature with a decaying deer skull for a head. But this isn't just a story. It gave rise to a terrifying, real-world mental disorder, Wendigo psychosis. Sufferers become convinced they are turning into a Wendigo and develop an intense craving for human flesh. This has led to real-life tragedies, like in 1878, when a hunter killed and ate his entire family, claiming he was possessed by the spirit of a Wendigo. Deep within the dense forests of North America lurks a 3-meter-tall, hair-covered giant. We call him Bigfoot. And among all cryptids, he is the superstar with the most physical evidence. The most crucial piece of evidence is the 1967 Patterson-Gimlin film. This minute-long footage clearly shows a female Bigfoot walking along a riverbank, even glancing back at the camera. To this day, experts around the world continue to debate the film's authenticity. Add to that hundreds of plaster casts of enormous, 50-centimeter-long footprints, and the theory proposed by some scientists that it could be a descendant of Gigantopithecus, an extinct giant ape that may have crossed the Bering Land Bridge into North America and survived in isolation. All of this makes the mystery of Bigfoot feel incredibly real. When you hear the word fairy, you probably think of Disney's Tinkerbell. But be warned, in ancient lore, this was one of the most dangerous creatures imaginable. The ancient fairies, or the Fae, were a powerful race from another world. They were fickle, cruel, and had a deep-seated hatred for iron, and their legends had a very real impact on human society. In the early 20th century, the Cottingley Fairies incident saw 2 young girls fake photographs of themselves playing with fairies, fooling even Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes. Even darker was the belief in the changeling. In old Europe, people believed that sick or disabled infants were ugly fairy children swapped at birth. To get their real child back, they would resort to horrific abuse, like roasting the infant over a fire or throwing it into a river. These actions led to countless real-life tragedies. Even today in Iceland, construction crews will reroute roads to avoid disturbing rocks where the Fae are said to live. Their influence endures. The unicorn, a symbol of purity and holiness. But its origin may be nothing more than a centuries-long academic blunder and a masterful hoax. The earliest accounts come from a Greek historian describing a wild ass in India with a single, poison-curing horn on its forehead. This was likely a misinterpretation of the Indian rhinoceros. But in the Middle Ages, the legend took on religious significance, becoming a symbol for Christ himself. So, what about the real evidence? It was the tusk of the narwhal. Viking merchants brought these 3-meter-long, spiral tusks from the Arctic to Europe, claiming they were the horns of the mythical unicorn. European royalty and nobility bought it. Literally, they were purchased for their weight in gold and used to detect poison and display power. For centuries, this proof was kept in the great treasuries of Europe, serving as undeniable evidence that the unicorn was real. And now, let's return to our original question. Of all these creatures, which one has real evidence so strong that it has been scientifically verified? The answer is the legendary sea monster from Norse folklore. The beast said to drag ships to the bottom of the sea with its massive tentacles, its body as large as an island, the Kraken. For centuries, sailors passed down tales of a colossal beast in the deep, capable of creating whirlpools that could swallow entire vessels. It sounds like a tall tale, right? But the giant sucker marks found on sperm whales and the massive, partial carcasses that washed ashore all hinted that something enormous was lurking in the depths. Then, in 2004, Japanese scientists, for the first time ever, captured footage of a living giant squid in the deep sea. Its body can reach up to 13 meters in length, and it has the largest eyes of any animal on the planet. Scientists later discovered the even bulkier colossal squid. The appearance, size, and power of these real-life deep-sea titans perfectly match the descriptions of the legendary Kraken. The Kraken is perhaps the only legend that journeyed from the nightmares of ancient sailors into myth, only to have its real-world counterpart confirmed by modern science. It turns out legends aren't always lies. Sometimes, they're just the truth, wearing a mask of mystery. So, what about you? Besides the Kraken, which legend do you think is the most plausible? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.